Many, if not all people, consider financial freedom as a goal in adulthood. They want to retire and still be able to live how they did during that time of active employment, if not better. This then brings to focus the importance of saving as much money as possible during that time. Sadly, with a myriad of factors to consider, such as the ever-rising cost of living and hardly improving wages, saving can be quite difficult. That being the case, it would be myopic to only attribute this failure to just economics. It is worth considering that some people are just not good with money. And it could be attributable to the fact that a majority of people only started learning about money management skills much later in life, especially the art of efficiently and effectively saving money. In light of that, experts suggest teaching financial management in childhood, where children can understand that if future financial freedom is what they seek, they are better off knowing that saving money is one of the foundational building blocks needed to make that goal a reality. In that case, where's the starting point? We're joined by Money Smart Kids Academy founder Otisitswe Tawana-Mazhiba. Otisitswe, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We're talking to you today about kids and saving. So if you want to introduce your child to saving money, where's the starting point?
Kids are fun people. They like fun. They like play. And one thing that we also don't understand, that kids, they want to be engaged. They want to experiment. They learn best by doing, rather than telling them what to do. And there's a saying that kids learn more by watching us as the parents, right? So when it comes to saving, the starting point, because here we're talking about children from the ages of 3, 4 years and above, right? So the starting point is the piggy bank or the money box. That's the starting point. And once they understand that when I get money, it goes to the piggy bank or the money box, because before it couldn't go to the tech shop or before it couldn't go to the shop. So the starting point is the piggy bank first before I take it outside. And then from there, we teach them now that from this piggy bank, now it goes to the bank. That is the bank account. That's where now you start introducing them to owning a bank account and the interest, what it means for my money to earn interest. But remember that the interest, in terms of understanding interest, you can still introduce while you're still using the piggy bank. That if you save this much, I'll add this much on top of that. So basically, you're introducing the issue of interest, right? If I let my money or allow my money or be patient enough to allow my money to accumulate until I get this much, then my mother or my parent is going to give me extra. So it's a motivation to keep on saving. So it's the same concept that you're going to link now when you talk about what? Interest, your money, any interest. And from there, now we go, that's where now, from after they have understood saving into the bank and any interest, that's now we move towards investing. Remember that you can't talk about investing before you talk about saving, because they are almost linked. Remember that saving, it introduces a child to what we call delayed gratification, being patient for you to get something bigger or better later. And that's the skill or the understanding that is needed now when you start introducing children to investing. So saving basically is the basic, the foundation. So make sure your child understands and make sure your child is interested. Like you're saying, how do you get your child interested now in saving? Give them an incentive. Celebrate their achievement. Of course, they'll be tempted to get the money, but give them the reason why they should wait. If there is no incentive, they have no reason why they should be letting their money stay there when they want some sweets or some lollipops. Yeah. Why should they wait? Give them a reason. Give them an incentive. Like I said, adding more money to what they want. Or give them something like a reward that, okay, if you save this much, not a reward in monetary terms, but something that you know that they'll really love.
You know, money is quite a serious topic and can even be intimidating for adults. So how can you make the discussion or the engagements on money with kids more fun and more engaging so that they don't lose focus quickly.
It also goes back to the issue that we were talking about, that getting kids to be part of the whole process, getting them to learn by doing, right? So we talked about getting them to save in the piggy bank, right? The other thing that you also have to get kids to do, especially when it comes to saving, is tracking how the money is growing. Because, kids, they love to see if they're making progress. Because for them, if they see that, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this after all? With the smaller kids, as the money accumulates, they get to shake the piggy bank. They get to shake the piggy bank. Oh, it's becoming full. It's becoming full, And sometimes you can get a piggy bank that is transparent so that they see that the money is growing. Yeah. But of course, there will be temptation. That's where you have to manage the temptation as the adult, right? But for them to see that the money is growing is an incentive for them. Then the other thing is that for kids that are older, get them to do some charts. Okay, today I've put this much, right? So I'm going to color, okay, this is where I'm going. And as they see that, no, the chart now is going up, that means that I'm getting closer and closer to the goal. The other thing with kids is that don't make it too long, especially with the younger kids, right? You can start with saving for a week, and then as they become older, then you go for a month. Where now you have like your 6, 7, then you go for a month, now saving for a month. And make sure that what they have said they're going to save for, they're actually going to get it. Yeah. Because if they don't get it, you end up using their money. For them, they'll never do it again. They have no intention to do it again. They give up. And we don't want kids to give up. And the other thing is that they have to have a goal. Like, it doesn't have to be like too formal. Like, what do you want to save for? It has to be clear in their mind. And how does it become clear in their mind? They have to go and see it. If I want a tennis racket, or maybe they're swimming, they want those goggles, they have to go to the shop and see the goggles. And that this is what I want. You can even take a picture so that you keep on reminding them that this is what you are saving for. Remember that this money is for this. So that they remember, right? Remember visualization. They remember that this is what I'm saving for. And then at the end, they get that. Sometimes you can even cut out a magazine, like a picture from a magazine, so that you paste it in their room, so that they see that this is what I'm saving. It keeps on reminding them that the reason why I have to be patient for my money to accumulate is that I'm going to get there. Because there's power in visualizing. So that's how you introduce kids to visualizing their goal and visualizing what they're saving for. So that's one way of how to get kids to keep going, because the aim is for them to keep going.
But how sustainable is it, Otisitswe, to teach kids about money so early on? Because the brains are still developing, and with the much more information that they're yet to absorb into their brains, the more likely they're going to be forgetting other things, perhaps even the habits of saving.
That's a very interesting question, because most of the time we're thinking that, why do I have to teach them now when I can teach them when they are teens or when they already have their first paycheck? Probably when I start now, 20 years later or 10 years later, they'll forget all this. So we get demotivated, or we say, I'll wait. But there's a research that have been made that money habits start forming early, around the ages of 7. So you can imagine that over time, the habits are getting formed, whether you teach them or you don't. And the likelihood is that they'll form habits that they observe, that they hear what their friends are doing or what everybody around them is doing, and they think that that is the right way of doing it. If you as a parent, you're not taking that responsibility or being intentional to guide them and to make sure that the money habits that they form at that age or from that age, they're good money habits, like having a positive or good relationship with money from a younger age. So the other thing is that we tend to forget that our experiences when we're adults is mostly influenced by our childhood experiences. Most of it is subconscious until you dig deep and try to understand why you are doing things a certain way. And you realize that it's because of how I was raised or the experiences that I had as a child. And most of us, we grew up from households where money was never a topic of discussion. We always say money was a taboo when we were growing up. Our parents never really had those discussions about money. And because of that, we're not comfortable having those discussions. So you see that this is from way, way back. We never had those discussions. We never taught about saving, be it at school. Then when we were older, we struggled to save. It's because we never had those experiences. So it's important, very important, to give our children experiences that they will carry them through as they grow up and get older. Because they're going to now, those experiences, they are a build-up of who they are becoming and their relationship with money. So we have to start from an early age. It's, for me, it's something that I wish everybody could understand, how this is important, especially as parents, because we take it for granted and we think it's nothing. And we do all this, we spend, it's all about spending, and we don't see that we are teaching our children to be spenders. And the funny thing is, we talk about how we want to inculcate the habit of saving, the habit of investing, the habit of entrepreneurship, right? In policy documents and all that. But we never really take it back from a lower level or grassroots level at home, because that's the best place to start. If we want a generation that is entrepreneurial, saving and investors, we have to start from how we are raising our children.
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?